Strong Toyota, leading the way every day. And Strong Toyota, symbols of trust.
This came as a total surprise to us.
So
because we were.
that's all I can say is that we were not consulted on this at all.
Various GovGuam agency representatives this morning expressed their displeasure at not being consulted about the Department of Corrections' decision to no longer accept drunk or drugged detainees until they've had a medical clearance.
I would have appreciated knowing that this problem existed before getting on the news that you weren't going to be receiving any of the detainees, because we really need to plan this into the budget.
First time I've had a chance to look at this, and yeah, we weren't consulted, so I am surprised that it was so broad, this procedure and announcement, because now you've lifted the standard and exposed us more by doing this, quite frankly.
Tydenko pointed out that the policy of seeking a medical clearance has always been in place, but it's never been mandatory for everyone until now.
But to say all DUIs, I mean, now you've set the bar here. Now GMH has no choice. This thing is in writing now.
We've came to so many close calls where a client has been brought into DOC without being cleared. And within hours after us accepting the client, we ended up having to call paramedics to transport that individual to GMH because the individual was under the influence of alcohol and actually alcohol poisoning. Not just that, but those that are also drugs mixed with alcohol. So the reason for this is to prevent the government from going into a liability.
Following 2 suicides at the prison this past year alone, both DOC Director Jose San Augustine and prison psychologist Andrea Lighthouser made the point that mandating a health clearance is for the protection not only of DOC, but for the inmate as well.
There is the liability, but there's also just the human life factor. We don't want anyone to die in the prison that we can prevent. And so we've had some very close calls, and if there is a way to medically clear these folks before they come in the prison, it would be of great assistance because we just don't have the capacity now.
Of course, the cost of GMH is going to skyrocket, and I think that in follow-up to the AG's comment, I think that what we need to do is issue a clarification, if you will.
We need to get an idea about what it would cost to operate out of GMH versus what it would cost to operate out of DOC. You know, most facilities, rehabilitative and correctional, operate an infirmary directly out of the prison because of the cost prohibitive nature of an emergency room type of situation.
In the end, it was suggested to beef up the prison's infirmary by hiring 3 additional nurses and 2 technicians. Vice Speaker Cruz said he would try and seek the funding for the additional staff at DOC in the next legislative session next week. Kevin Kerrigan, PNC News.